I can't stop thinking about the Create mod. Ever since I played it for the first time the other day, my mind has been fixed. Fixed on cogs and mechanical things and gantry carriages. And while it's basically impossible for me to record Hermitcraft episodes right now because my house is being renovated, I've just been tinkering. I've been tinkering away. I had this idea that I want to make a mechanical flying machine making use of the elements of Create, and I verified through my tinkering that things are movable. At first I was incredibly depressed because I didn't think that we could actually push and pull cogs and bits and pieces, but it turns out that as long as you make use of the Create pistons, the mechanical pistons, then things can be pushed and pulled. And that means that we are in business. This should be interesting, or potentially painfully frustrating. And if things weren't already frustrating enough, I've decided I want to power this thing making use of windmills just because I really like the aesthetic of a wind-powered flying machine. To anyone who enjoys the steampunk style of life, you're probably getting very excited at this point in time. Sail! This is how I show my love. It is called a sail, isn't it? Otherwise, that's really embarrassing. Yeah, thank goodness. Can't wait to get a copyright strike for that one, but I'd say it's worth it. Anyway, this should now be working. Yes, we are generating energy through the wind. Now we just need another one of them facing in the opposite direction to give us the other motor for all of the mechanical pistons and things. Now the reason that I need a second motor is because I imagine as soon as I start moving the motor, it's going to stop providing power to things. At least that's what I think. Yes. And it actually causes the windmill to stop entirely. Is that... Oh, is that going to be an issue? This could throw a spanner in the works, maybe, potentially, maybe. I'm just going to keep building and pretend that nothing bad has happened. So here is the plan of action. I'm going to have 2 of these windmill machines, and I'm going to have them set up like a conventional flying machine, where you have them almost caterpillaring. So one goes forward and then pulls the other one back, and then yeah, they kind of power each other. Actually, this is probably worth checking. That is an issue. That is an issue. So I can't pull the windmills. I'm very glad that I tried that before building my entire flying machine based around it. Am I not going to be able to build one of these? Is this whole video idea stupid? I mean, there's no denying that the video idea was stupid. It's definitely stupid, but is it impossibly stupid? I can deal with a little bit of stupid. I mean, I love a good stupid idea, but impossibly stupid ideas are they're really stupid. After saying stupid a few more times, I came up with a bright idea. I mean, don't get me wrong, this could be just as stupid as the last one, but at least for this one, I'm pushing both of the motors, which should be okay. Honestly, I don't know what to think anymore. You have to remember, I only discovered this mod yesterday. Okay, I'm not exactly, you know, the expert on it. I'm still learning. There's lots for me to learn here. So, I've got my windmill bearing hooked up into a large cog, which is then going into this thing. It's called a rotational speed controller. That allows me to set the speed coming out through this shaft right here, and then we're going to run that into a gear shift, which is then going to go into a mechanical sticky piston. So if I just put some extension poles into the back of this sticky piston and then power the gear shift, that is all working perfectly, and that is going incredibly well. Okay, this is a solid start. I'm not sure we need our piston to be quite that big though. That looks a little bit ridiculous. So let's get another one of those built up here, but instead of facing backwards with a sticky mechanical piston, we're going to have a regular mechanical piston facing forwards. And I need to remember to glue everything together because otherwise it's all going to fall apart as soon as everything starts moving. Which is probably going to happen anyway, but at least the glue won't be the problem. I just want it known I have absolutely zero expectation of this thing working. Oh! It kind of did the thing that I wanted it to. But this windmill has stopped working, so... Am I going to have to manually do that each time? This is actually going to work, though. If I can reignite these things somehow, this actually is a winner. I just seem to have forgotten to glue literally everything. What have I forgotten to glue? This? That should now be glued to that, so then when I pull this across... Oh, the whole thing breaks. Oh, it's kind of broken. Oh, but then it pulled it! I did something and then it pulled it! So this needs to be updated. Goodness gracious me. Goodness gracious me. So this goes boom, retract, and then update, and then boom, retract but breaks, retract. We've got a flying machine. A slightly broken flying machine. Lots of updates need to be done, but that's okay because I've planned for this. There is this thing right here, the poker, the deployer. I'm going to call it the poker. What it essentially does is it pokes things, just like the player would. So that was me poking this machine and it gets it going, and then when I poke it again, it stops. This machine should do that, I hope. I mean, I'm kind of counting on it at this point. It totally doesn't work. Now, I've spent a good few hours trying to work out why it didn't work. I've built my flying machines in different orientations. I've experimented with all sorts of different things, and I've finally worked it out. And it's very, very strange. It's to do with glue. So you can see this is updating everything just fine, but as soon as I get glue on this thing, it then stops being pokeable. And that is a bit of an issue for our flying machine. In a word, I'm unchuffed. What's the opposite of chuffed? Chafed. I've been chafed. Could slime blocks come to the rescue here? Oh, they actually could. Oh, they actually could. Oh my goodness. Slime blocks. Please tell me this is pokeable. It is pokeable. I do believe we could be back onto a winner. We are definitely back onto a winner. This is now powered. This one then retract. And then we get the boom. And it is all working. I mean, sure, there's still a lot of things that are very manual at this point in time, but conceptually, it is all working. I am so incredibly confused. But I think I could be onto something here. I think I've reduced some of the manualness. I now have automatic pokers. This will be useful in a second, I promise. Honestly, I don't know if it will be. I don't know if anything's going to be useful. I don't know if anything's going to work. I don't even know who I am anymore. Genuinely, I'm so lost. But that's a good start. So all I should have to do is flick the levers. That should be the only thing that is required of me. Now that the system is at least somewhat automated. I mean, is this correct? I feel like something's been left behind here. I feel like this is not maybe correct. Yeah, I definitely think there's something missing. Yeah. Whatever that was, it's been left. I think that glue there could be the culprit. I think I've now fixed that. Let's find out. I mean, there's only really one way to find out, and that is by testing this thing. So that is that. Good. Power. It makes its way across. It needs to be turned off and then turned back on. And oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So all we need to do now is the redstone powering. I mean, this is big news. Yeah. This is big news. It's an actual functioning moving machine. It is moving. So we just need to do the powering and things now. And if you're confused as to what has happened in the past 2 or 3 minutes of this video, don't worry. I'm also just as confused as you are. Just for me, it hasn't been 2 or 3 minutes. It's been 2 or 3 hours. My brain hurts. And it was at this point that my confusion reached peak levels. I have activated every single brain cell to try and get this thing working. I'm now using sequence gear shifts in a number of areas. And I think that could be the secret. I'm really, really hoping that that is the secret. Okay, so let's see. If I power this... that was the sound of genuine pain. I've cut out a further few hours of frustration here. And it's all to do with this sequence gear shift. This sequence gear shift forgets what it's meant to do. This is the one. This is it. It's meant to have this instruction right here. That is what it's meant to do. Alright, but then as soon as I move this thing, it then doesn't do what it's meant to do. It forgets itself. Look, ready? And it's changed its instructions. You have no clue how much pain this has caused me. Because we're almost there. Okay, I think moving it to this position right here has made it more stable. I don't know why. I don't know why this would be the case. But it feels like it could be the case. And now we actually... Oh my goodness, I think we are actually onto a winner here. Oh my goodness. All we have to do is send power to these things. And then we are actually onto a winner. And everything will be working. I have never been so happy in my entire life. Now the question is, does this slightly harebrained but also would work in vanilla Minecraft setup right here actually function? That's a no. That is a big old no. I mean, what if... You know, maybe if I do it this way? Oh no, it's a big old no. I hate my life. Okay, hear me out on this one. I would say that we can rely on these redstone links. This is essentially like wireless redstone. The only issue is, it seems like it requires quite a long pulse. So I'm going to give it a 4-tick pulse and hopefully that's enough. And it was enough, but I feel like the delay is too long. So I'm hoping that this setup right here, with increased delay, should now work. Like, this should be the finalized design. I'm confident. I feel confident enough to say that. However, I have thought that probably about 100 times today. Seriously. Backups have been made, and many more attempts have been failed. It is getting ridiculously late right now. However, I'm not going to get my hopes up, but the last attempt was relatively close. It was the closest I've been. So, I mean, let's see what happens. Let's see. This is good. This is good. That is good. The flying machine is sort of moving. It is moving. It is moving. It is moving. Have we actually made a flying machine? Please tell me we've made... It looks like we've actually made a flying machine. Yes. We've actually done it. This is so many hours. So many hours. But we've actually done it. To be quite frankly honest, yeah, I couldn't be happier. Really, I can't actually believe that we finally managed to get it working. I never thought I would see the day that this thing actually functioned. So there we go. You know, you were all talking about the possibilities of the create mod. Well, here they are. You can make incredibly slow, incredibly complicated flying machines that are far worse than their vanilla Minecraft counterparts. But they are pretty cool. I mean, there's no denying that. There is something weirdly cool about this. Alright, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next video. See ya. Goodness gracious me. Goodness gracious me. I'm still in shock that I managed to do that. And now I'm probably going to, once I post this, you know, people will send me videos of create experts who have made tiny flying machines, but I don't care. I actually don't care. I'm so proud of myself for actually getting that thing done.